Yo, what's happening, 357 family? It's your boy Big Dre, and today we are going to take a look at what a lot of people consider a truck gun, backpack gun, home defense. It can fall into a lot of different categories, and we're just going to take a quick look at today and see what we got going on. So for me, this will fit in the role of a backpack gun. It also would do the role of home defense, and it'll fit every category that it's really designed for me. So take it out, show you what we're talking about. This is not one that I've ever talked about. They've been around a few years. But as you can see, this is a backpack that I do use. This is not just some random bag. I think I saved it for video. This has got multi-tools and keep all my paperwork in here for my gun. So yeah, this is a backpack that I actually do use. Typically, it's in my car. And this is what we're going to be talking about today. This is the Kel-Tec Sub 2000. This is a Gen 2 version. And it's got some few upgrades to it. Nothing major. It was stuff that stuff I had laying around the house, just extra stuff I had from previous projects and firearms that I've owned over the years. And I was just going through a drawer and ran across some stuff and saw if it would fit. It fits, so I put it on here. There are some upgrades coming for it to finish out this project. But what you have is a pistol caliber carbine. There is a magazine in here. It is loaded, but there is nothing in the chamber. It is empty, and it is locked back to the rear. So, but essentially what you have is a pistol caliber carbine. You pull this down, you can fold it in half, which folds it back to about 16 inches, all the way open. It's roughly about 32 inches long. But what I like about this is the versatility of it. So it is a pistol caliber. This one is the 40 cal version, which does take the Glock 23 magazines. So this is a 13 round magazine. So you'd have, essentially, if you carried it open with one in the chamber, you'd have 13 plus 1. But if you fold it, you can't carry one in the chamber because it will fall out. But they've been around for several years, but you still don't see them very often. Usually people that have them hold on to them, so you have to be fortunate and know someone that has one or something like that if you want to check one out, things like that. I was able to get my hands on this one through some mutual partners in the industry, and so I'm gonna have fun with this one. Like I said, I wanted one of these, and I never had the opportunity to really get my hands on one. I've ran across a few and didn't jump on them, and so this opportunity came about to where I was able to get this one, and so I figured I'd go ahead and check it out and see what it's really about. I haven't had an opportunity to shoot it, so I won't be able to speak to how it shoots, but I will say, just aesthetically looking at it, it is a nice firearm. Now, I have seen where they come with a paracord string that goes around the charging handle back here, and it holds it and keeps it from popping forward when it's being stored. But for whatever reason, I don't know if they just lost it or what, but this one didn't have one in the box. It was brand new, so I'm not sure what was going on there, but it wasn't one in the box. So I just took some string that I had here and just cut it and put it on here myself. It's just something temporary for the time being. But we have angle foregrip here. This angle foregrip does have storage for like extra batteries or whatever for your optic. You can put some paracord in there or something like that. Not a whole lot of stuff. You can just fit a little bit in there. This is a Gen 2, so it does have the adjustable stock on it. And the stock, to adjust it, you simply pop this pin out. And when you pop that pin out, then you're able to slide it to one of these other two slots and shorten the length of pull on the rifle. One cool thing I do like about this is when you fold it up, the rear sight does fold, and so you can fold it all the way up and lock it down, and when you unlock it, it folds back up. Now, for some reason, you have to take this off and you put it back in backwards. It will not fold back up. You have to pull it up every time. So if you ever have to take this rear sight out, make sure you put it back in the correct way so it'll fold back up like it's supposed to. It does have Picatinny rail up here, and it does have M-LOK on the sides. I had these pieces of rail coverings left over from the Anubis project, so I just threw them on here just to keep some more protection between my hand and the heat coming off this barrel, because this does not have a lot of meat around it. And then it has the Picatinny coming down the bottom here, and with this Picatinny, it allowed me to put this forward grip on here. And from my understanding, with this having a 16-inch barrel, even though it is a pistol caliber, that it's still basically considered a rifle and not a pistol. So you can, I've seen people have these with actual regular foregrips on them. So I'm not gonna do that. I prefer it with this on there, but I mean, you can take your own chances and do what you choose. Another cool thing about this particular one is it does have the threaded barrel, and it does come with the barrel with the thread protector on here, and you can put muzzle brakes on here. There's a company called M.Carbo, and they make lots and lots of upgrades for this. They actually partner with Kel-Tec, and they make a model called the I think it's called the M series, and that particular one has every single upgraded part that they manufacture for this already installed in it. And it's, from what I hear, it's an amazing rifle. They do make custom charging handles for it. This charging handle, it's kind of thin and it's kind of sharp on the edges, so they make some that are thicker and have more girth to them. And they also make one that's, it's got an extra section. It's a 2-finger pull, and those are supposed to reduce the felt recoil by up to 63%. And then they also make it's like a silicone buffer that goes in here, and you slide it over the recoil spring or buffer spring, and it's supposed to absorb like 30% of the felt recoil. So with that and that charging handle, you should lose a lot of the felt recoil, pretty much all of it. They also make a pad that goes here on the end of the butt stock, but it does require you to do some slight maintenance. You have to drill 4 holes in here and then screw it on. to help with that felt recoil. They also make a rear sight that has a lever, so you can fold it up and down manually as you need to. So if you're using an optic, then you don't have to worry about trying to fight with your sight. You can just use the handle, and it is an ambidextrous handle. And the sight is also taller. With this sight, the sight picture is a little rough because you have to basically bury your face on this buffer tube to be able to get your sight picture. They also make a mount. Midwest Industries made one that hooks into your M-lock section here on the handguard, but this is polymer. So a lot of people were complaining that what was happening was the screws, after shooting for a while, will work themselves loose and the mount will be a little loose, and was causing issues with zeros and stuff like that, having to keep them tight. So G.R.A.V.I.T.E.E came up with their own design, and with their design, it utilizes these 4 screws here. So you take those out and you'll use the same nuts on the other side, but you'll take these 4 screws out, and actually they're on this side. Yeah, they're on this side. So you'll take these 4 screws out, and once you take those out, then what you'll do from that point is on this side, you'll actually put the mount on here and put the screws back in, the screws that come with the mount in, using the existing nuts. And what this does is allows you to use a red dot optic on here, and it'll flip out of the way so you can still fold the rifle in half. Now it will stick up, so you're looking at about 3 inches sticking out of the side, so you're gonna have to be kind of choosy about what kind of bag you put it in or how you store it or carry it. With the Midwest Industries mount, you don't have to worry about that. With their mount, it mounts here and it sticks up, and the optic actually rotates, so you can use it, and then you rotate it out the way, fold it up, and then rotate it back, and it's still got the same profile when you store it. It's flat. So that's going to be personal preference. If you want to deal with the screws coming undone every once in a while or loosening up, that's on you. If you'd rather have one that just bolts straight on, you don't have to worry about it, but you're going to have that big 3-inch bulge sitting up here on the top when you try and store it. That's going to be up to you as well. It's going to be personal preference on that. The front optic, the front sight, it is adjustable, and there is aftermarkets that you can get for it. There's a company called Red Lion that makes one that's really nice, and it'll actually flip down and fold out of the way, so when you're using the red dot, it's not in the way. So you also have that option. So, and then they also make, G.R.A.V.I.T.E makes a cover that goes over the buffer tube here, and it gives you some extra padding when you're shooting and you're trying to get your cheek rested on this, because it's uncomfortable. You got this thing here, and then you got this, so it's gonna make this sit flush right through here, and it's gonna give you something soft to lay your cheek on. They also make a custom trigger for this. They actually make all of the internals for this. The trigger, this trigger is polymer, and so is this trigger guard. It's polymer as well. So they make carbon steel versions of those. They make a carbon steel version of all of the shafts that go inside for your screws, and they make the screws in carbon steel as well. This is kind of odd to me, the feed ramp in this is also plastic. So G.R.A.V.I.T.E also makes a carbon steel feed ramp that is able to be polished as well when you need to. So you can basically gut this and redo the internals with all carbon steel and take all that carbon and aluminum out of there. All the bolts that you see on this rifle, they literally make all the bolts, so you can replace all the bolts in this rifle through G.R.A.V.I.T.E. and basically turn this thing into a monster. I mean, you're gonna have, this comes in a 9 and a 40, and they make different versions. They take, some of them take Glock mags, some of them take Smith & Wesson M&P mags. So they make different versions of this, and some of them take Glock 17, some take Glock 19 and 23. Just depends on which version you get. All right, so they're designed to be compatible with certain pistols. For example, this one takes the Glock 19 and Glock 23 mags. So this is chambered in 40. So you're going to use the 23 mags, and it's designed to be paired with a Glock 23. So if you're out somewhere, you got this in your backpack, shit hit the fan scenario pops up, something happens to your pistol, you can use this, or you can use this as your primary and your pistol for your backup, but they can share magazines. So you don't have to have two different types of ammo, two different types of magazines. They'll share magazines. So that's a plus. And then when you get done, like I said, you simply push that down, fold this up, and then you're ready to go back in the bag. So you can't beat this, man. This particular rail cover right here, I left it short because if I made it any longer, then it literally wouldn't lock in place. So I just cut it down to where it's shorter. But I really like this thing, man. I think I'm gonna enjoy playing around with it and getting used to it, and seeing what all it can actually do. From what I understand, it's really accurate and really good for up to about 125 yards. So I'm gonna put it through the paces and see if we can't get a little bit more out of that, and see if we can't get at least 200 out of it, and still have it maintain the accuracy. You know, as you can see, that's what I was talking about earlier when I was saying you can't carry one in the chamber while it's folded, because the round will literally just fall out. But hope y'all enjoyed the video, man. I just wanted to show y'all a little something different that's in the collection that y'all hadn't seen, and give y'all some other options out there for what you're carrying with you. I know it's a crazy time right now. There's a lot going on, so people are trying to find ways to be prepared at all times. So I think this is one of those situations where something like this will be perfect to carry in your backpack or your EDC bag, whatever you choose to carry for an EDC bag. As long as it's at least 16, I would say at least 16 and a half inches. I don't think you'll have any problems with carrying this. And like I said, there's plenty of aftermarket support for it with G.R.A.V.I.T.E.E. They make everything you need for this aftermarket. They even make a toolkit specifically for this particular firearm. So if you get one, you want to check it out, go to G.R.A.V.I.T.E.E. Remember, this one right here is the 40 version, the 40 cal version, 40 Smith & Wesson. It comes with one 13 round mag, but it is compatible with all 40 round mag, 40 cal mags from the 23, everything except for the 27, I believe. So you should be good. You can use the extended 31 round mags and all that stuff. But I'll let y'all check this out, man. Hope y'all having a blessed one. Remember, Big Dre 357. Go there. There's plenty of links for y'all, affiliate links for y'all to get stuff and save some money. You can also get you some merch, and as well as sign up on the Patreon as a patron. We're gonna be starting to do exclusive content over there. I've already put one video up there. I think there's actually like 2 maybe, but that's where a lot of the contests and stuff are going to be going through, and we're about to get that thing jumping and pumping. All right, hope y'all have a blessed one, man. Catch you on the next one. Deuces.